Hello everybody, welcome back to another rebuild. We're in Italy this time. We are going to UC Sampdoria. They have struggled in recent years to claim top 10 spot actually. And from what I can remember when I was young, they were always a decent side in Italy. I'm not sure what's really gone wrong, so we're going to try and get them back to the pinnacle of Italian football. And we'll start here and have a look exactly what we're working with. They're founded in 1946. Really, they're virtually quite a young club then, under 100 years old. They enjoyed their best spell during the 1990s, although now enjoying a 27-year barren spell. Wow, having not won a competition since 94. That's quite a long time. That's too long for any sort of trophy. They won the Italian League in 91 and won the Cup Winners' Cup as was in 90. Finished runners-up once and finished runners-up in the Euro Super Cup as well. If we have a look at their domestics, they've not been out of a Serie A really, relegated in early 2000, then jumping back, but struggled. There's a couple of third place, fourth place, but the last however long, 9th place is the best they've mustered, and we're going to try and do something about that in this rebuild, hopefully, fingers crossed. They've got a pretty good high-rated players as well. Bereseneski, I think. I'm not going to pronounce that again. Right back, 29 years old, Polish. And, well, he looks all right, actually, to be fair. But 29 years old, that's an issue. He's there for another 4 seasons at least anyway, so that's quite good. 30-year-old Rincon as well. Looks pretty decent. Midfielder. We could do with another midfielder, actually, to be fair. Murillo as well. Looks okay. 29 years old again. 6 foot. Jumping and headings okay-ish. Could really do some young blood in there though, to be fair. Aguero as well. Tommaso. Left back. Oh wow, okay. 26 years old. Okay, so there's somebody that we can keep with us, hopefully. Another 3-4 years. Yeah, we'll try and hang on to this one as well. Gabbiadini. 29-year-old. Manolo. Again, Cam. Forward, more of a forward, I think. 29 years old, though. Very good first touch and free kick. Okay, finishing's not bad either. Not much on the pacey side, but he might be able to do a job for us. 18 goals in 67 games. Enjoying his second spell with Sampdoria. 16-47 previously and 18 in 67. He probably did better the first time around. Got Francesco Caputo as well. 33-year-old, so he is going to have to be replaced. Still looks pretty good at the moment. 33 years old. He's got 2 years left on his contract. Collie as well. 28 years old. Defender. Okay, so we've got some experienced defenders at the back. That's good. And Fabio. I'm not going to try and pronounce his second name. But again, another striker. 38-year-old striker. Goodness gracious. 84 and 186. That seems pretty decent. Maybe we have 2 up front. He looks pretty good still, and he's got 2 years left on his contract as well. Got a couple of loanies as well, and some other decent players also. Formation-wise, we are going to go with a 4-4-2, I think. Either that or we go diamond. We'll see how it goes. But I don't think wingers would really help us at this point, but having wide midfielders might help us. Consolidate at the back. Let's build a platform. We are predicted to finish in 12th position, so 350 to 1. And I'm honestly thinking maybe a DM with wingers possibly, or a 4-4-2 or a diamond. I'm not quite sure, but we'll see what happens. But let's move on to the transfers. Just before we delve into the transfers, we are using an updated version of Football Manager, which includes all the transfers, relegations, which can be found on the FM22 website. And you can see from all those dated the 1st of July are the new transfers in. So with that in mind, we haven't really signed anybody, but we have made one signing. Tommaso Pobega. And not to be confused with Pogba, that is. But I like to think it could be Pogba. He's going to play as a DM role in this particular season, this first season at least. Anyway, that's what we brought him in for. 22 years old. He's here for about 5 years, so that's a perfect £13 million it's cost us, and that is virtually all our budget. But he looks absolutely superb. Great potential as well. He's almost at it. He's got 1.5 stars to go, but he looks pretty darn good. And he's Italian as well, which is homegrown, which is another bonus. 2 games for us already with an assist, especially from a DM position as well. That's crazy. But he's been on loan at Spezia, Podone and Tonana. Comes from Milan, so he's got to be of good quality as well. So we're looking forward to seeing what he does here. But I think they need somebody in this role at the moment, and it fits in perfectly with this formation. We're going to use this formation for this season, see how it goes, but I do want to move into more or less a diamond formation, having 2 up front, possibly a cam, or maybe push these inside and 3 in midfield, 2 attacking midfielders and a forward. I don't know. I'm going to be experimenting next season, I think. But with the players we've got at the moment, we haven't got a lot of money, so we're going to have to make do with what we have. We've got a couple of loanees that are finishing next season. And we've made a reasonably good start in the pre-season and the start of the season. 2 draws against Empoli and Udinese, which isn't too bad. I guess I would have liked to have won it, really, but we do concede a late Udinese goal in the 92nd minute. So it's quite disappointing, to be fair. Pre-season wasn't too bad, just losing the 1 game to Napoli. While we play teams in the same division in the pre-season is just crazy. As you can see, we play Napoli just further on down. The table, we are lying 13th currently with just 2 draws. It would have been nice to be up there, but we're only 2 points off a European spot. We do play Spal in the Italian Cup second round. I was going to say third round. Reach the third round is what is required. And the season preview sees us climb a little bit closer to that mid-table. So we're about 300 odd to 1. We're now 250 to 1, and we've climbed a place or 2, I think. Not really any big spenders, but £1 billion has been spent. Chris Smalling to Leicester for £15 million, which is quite cheap as well. Roma also picking up João Mario as well for 15, so it's virtually contradicted itself. There's our big signing. Pabiga and Milan also pick up Rafinha for £10 million. Maybe we should have done that instead. Let's crack on to the first season. Hopefully we'll gain a little bit more money for the transfer window next season. And let's simulate and come back for the results. Well, the first season has ended, and like seasons before, they've not gone pretty well. We've just survived relegation, although a good 6 points clear. However, it's not great, so there is definitely a lot of work needs doing. However, we did finish second in the table for most fouls made, so there's a bonus. The results in Serie A did not go well. As you can see, there's a lot of poor results. We carried on drawing going into September. Then a few losses. We do pick up our first win against Lecce as well, 1-0. But again, it's just not enough wins. We do win 2 on bounce though. And we had 3 games on unbeaten run. But that is about it. It's not enough. So we do have a lot of work ahead of us. And I think with the signings, maybe we need to sell in order to move on. But it'll be interesting to see who we do get. Win 2 on the bounce of 3-1 and 1-0. But apart from that, it's been a very, very poor season. A 7-1 loss away at Milan does not bode well, especially when we got Pabiga from Milan. I bet he wasn't happy about that at all. We reached the second round of the Italian Cup. That didn't go to plan either. A 38th minute winner by Moncini from Spal. 1-0. We did outplay them a little bit in this game as well, although 46% possession, not great. And yeah, our overall rating has been very, very poor. But yeah, that's it's not gone down well for the rest of the season either, did it really? Looking at the squad then, 1 player, our striker, 14 goals for the season. We did score 31. He got half our goals really. I'm not sure actually if he got all 14 goals in the league. But Fabio, at 39 years old, he still looks pretty good though. I think he needs a partner up front. That could be what the issue is, maybe. He has been, he did score more than the last 2 seasons, so that's an improvement. But it's still not great though, is it really? We do need to bring in some more players and probably recruit from the youngsters as well. And the majority of them are at loan. Assist-wise, wow, Villa with 5 assists this season. Gabbiadini 4 with 5 goals, so that's not too bad. But apart from that, it's been very, very poor. Financially, we have been given £13.5 million. It's not a great deal, but again, with a team that's struggling near the bottom of the table, or the bottom half of the table, it's not surprising. But £13.5 million might be enough to grab in a few players, and hopefully we can release some along the way. Busy in the transfer market. So Gonzalo Villa, he was on loan to us. We have snatched him up, actually. He's going to be playing in our midfield, and a hefty price, to be fair. We only had around about £13 million, don't forget, and we pick him up for 7. I think that was an agreed optional transfer fee that we I think agreed in the loan deal, and I decided to bring him in. Last season he had 3 goals and 5 assists. That's not bad at all. I mean, look at these orange numbers here: 17, 16, first touch, dribbling, he can pass the ball, he's got agility, his physicals look really good, mentals look even better, and he will just fit perfectly in that middle of the park. I think we're going to be using him as a DLP or a central midfielder, but either way, he's going to sit in there very, very nicely. Another player we had on loan last season, and we decided to bring him in as well, is another goalkeeper, Contini. I don't think he got much games for us last season, but he comes in relatively cheap, £74,000. We needed somebody else, as we had another goalkeeper who wasn't very good, and I think we released or decided to sell. So we needed another one anyway, and I thought £74,000 isn't a lot, and he was with us last season. Yeah, like I say, he didn't really get much game time, unfortunately. We also bring in a forward, Nahul Bustos, Argentinian. He's going to be playing up front for us. He's going to be one of our main strikers. Very, very good potential. He can play out on the wings, but I'll explain that in just a second. But we are going to be using him up front in a 2-prong attack, I guess, or a 2-striker attack. Something I've not really used that often, but in Italy it seems to work pretty well. But yeah, it looks okay. Finishing's not too bad. Pace and acceleration isn't too bad either. And 2 goals out on loan with SPO, and 10 goals the previous season, 7s. He's got 2 goals for us already this season in 6 games, so he'll get a bit of time getting used to it. But £79,000, you can't grumble. And because we have got aging strikers like the 39-year-old and the 33-year-old, I think it was, we bring in Andrei Mihalik, Czech Republic, I think he is. Again, another striker. I mean, he can play out on the wings, but I really brought him in for a striker. I think he's just going to be as a backup. He seemed a little bit better when I looked at him on his own. But once we signed him, we got our scouts properly looking at him and the trainers. This relatively gave him a pretty good rating, but it's not brilliant. And I think he'll do okay. Physicals look really good. Acceleration and pace is fine. We're going to use him as a pressing forward on attack as well. £600,000 is a lot more than Bustos, which I was quite surprised at. Last season, 7 goals for Victoria Pleasant. But 2 games for us already, which I think he'll do okay. Pre-season, he got a few goals, but yeah, I think for another backup striker, I think it'd be pretty good. And Alfonso Sosa, we bring in as well. We're going to use him as a cam as opposed to a midfielder, although he can play either role. But I think I really brought him in there. Gabbiadini's in his 30s now, so he's going to be wanting replacing. If we can get a 22-year-old Portuguese chap in here now, then he's going to he's going to shine, I think. And we are building a relatively younger side now with a lot more signings. So I think we've made about 5 or 6 signings this season, which is really, really good with the amount of money we had and how much we spent in the first 2 signings as well. But physically looks really good. Finishing's not brilliant, but again, he's got great dribbling. He's got good technique, flair and vision. His work rate's pretty good, and his natural fitness is in the teens as well, which is even better. We bring him in from Poland, Lech, and £3 million. Superb. I mean, he's not prolific by any means of the imagination, but one season he had 3 goals, 5 assists. That's really what we're bringing him in for. So out the door, we do release a lot of players. Only £6.5 million gone out the door. Jurisic, he's gone. We had to let go of some non-EU players because we had Bustos in and we couldn't fit him into the team. So he's gone. Colley's gone as well. Sabrini, he's gone for 900,000. Vieira, Conte, Condreva, Rivaglia, he's gone. Fabio, he's gone as well. Mooney, and we've got Falcone as well out on loan. So we had to release a lot of players that were just well, just interfering with the progression of some of the other younger players as well. So with them not in the team now, we can see a little bit more development with the other players. Pre-season and the season has started off relatively well. We had a good start in the pre-season, the draws, wins, all that good stuff. With the World Cup this season, we've had to start this season early towards the end of July. So 2 draws. Empoli 1-0, 1-0 against Torino. We win 3-0 in the first round. We lose to Milan, but we do beat Fiorentina afterwards, and that sits us nicely just outside the European playoffs. We're on 11 points already, which is really good, a really good start for us. Milan, top of the table, 6 for 6, as you would expect. Lazio, Juventus, then there's a Fiorentina, which we did beat, actually, which I'm really pleased with. Inter, Atalanta, and then ourselves. Tactics before we start simulation is this. We've put a few players in here already, which I think was some of the better players. Shobo, he's coming back from a loan spell. He's straight into the first team. Adoro, our goalkeeper. Orgello, our left back. Pabiga in the DM role. We've got Villa, Sosa, and Bustos up front. So without any further ado, let's simulate Season 2 and see how we get on. Right, we've had a slightly better season this time round. We have won 10 games more than last time. We've drawn 13 and lost only 15. So it's a big improvement. We have conceded a few more goals than before, but our goal difference is a lot better. And points-wise, I think you'll agree, we did get a little bit better than last time. And we were only 27 points off a European spot. Wow, we really do need to close this down, I feel. But we've got a few players that have topped the charts on some of the categories in the division. He's got most assists for the season. Our left and right backs have both put in the most tackles per minute, so that's pretty decent as well. Going through the league results, we started off okay in August, then we let it slap. We hadn't had a win for a good few months there until our first, January. Wow, that's disappointing. A lot of losses in there. That's awful. Again, another 7-1 deficit there against Roma. That's disappointing. Milan 5-2. The scores are not looking good. And then we do pick up somehow towards the end of the season where we get a few more wins. Again, losses are just not very nice at all. We have a few unbeaten runs. Inter, we lose 3-2. Juventus, we lose. We're just not that great, are we? We just need to solidify at the back a little bit more. Midfield, stop them coming through. Stop conceding goals. I think that is that's the key. The Italian Cup, we do get stopped by Sassuolo 2-1, despite taking a 1-0 lead through Gabbiadini as well. But to lose again is disappointing. We were outshot once more. Possession-wise was poor. It's not looking great. We just need to get more quality players in here. But the question being is how much money they are going to invest in the club, I think. Looking at the squad for the season as well, Bustos does top goal score with 16 goals, 8 assists. Followed by Gabbiadini with 8 goals and 6 assists. Grosso as well, our 30-year-old striker. So we've got two 30-year-old strikers there, Gabbiadini and Grosso as well. We do need to probably move them along, but Gabbiadini seems to be the better of the two, so rather hang on to him. But there's about up to £6 million worth, really, I think that we could invest back into the club. But Gabbiadini did pretty well. 6 goals from Sosa as well, from the cam role. And Murillo as well, 5 goals. Assist-wise, coming from Valerio Ver. Where did he play? Was he another cam or did he play a striker? I'm wondering. Maybe as a cam. Maybe that's where he did play. But again, 29 years old. Got a fair few games as well. 39 games. So maybe he was the other striker possibly. Or he played in midfield. But 17 assists. That's pretty decent though for a 29-year-old. But again, we're still trying to rebuild this going into the 3rd season now. And we do need to start thinking better players. But with the money, it's going to be very, very limited. Speaking of money, £5.5 million is the transfer budget for this season. We have got about 150,000 a week in wage budget. So that's going to be pretty good. We may have to shift a few pennies around. But also we've got some contract renewals to get in order first before we start spending. So hopefully a few more transfers to talk about. Right, starting with the transfers in, we've made 4 transfers, 2 on a free, 2 we've actually paid money for, and with £5 million of the transfer budget, not an awful lot. So only just under £3 million spent, £1 million coming in, as we say hello to Nicolo Armini. He's going to be a right back or centre back. I'm more or less going for a right back position. He's got pretty good potential as well, and at 22 years old, pretty young. Physical's not too bad. He's got very high determination. But on a freebie from Benevento, it's not bad. He was on loan. I think it's Lazio actually overall. But not too bad season last season. 29 games. Just the one player of the match award, but a 7+ rating. But other than that, his attributes don't look too bad. Second one for Kundo Colidio. Forward. We're not playing wingers, so a forward that we've brought in, not bad finishing actually, pretty quick as well. Play up at the top, he's Argentinian. He's 23 years old and he's got quite good potential as well. Whether or not we'll stick with him is another matter, but while he was available and we're trying to get ourselves up that table into a European spot if we can, that's where the money is. And until we have more money, we can't get them quality signings. We pick him up from Inter, who I'm quite surprised let him go, to be fair. 10 goals. On his loan spell at Tigre in Argentina. Not bad actually. 10 goals, 3 assists, 13 in 17 appearances. That's not too bad. And already he's played 2 games for us. He's playing out of 7. I've got to be happy with that. Next one is Ekdal. Swedish, I think he is. He is. Again, this time a defender, a ball-playing defender. We got him on cover because he's reasonably quick. So why not use him as that? And that's what he prefers to play. So we'll let him play his own preferred position. Attributes don't look great, but I think they were better than what we've already got. We did pay some money, £1.3 million. 6.5 so far. Had pretty good the last 3 seasons, so can't complain about that in Sweden. I'm just hoping he won't find Italy harder. If he does, then we may have problems. And finally, we got Amadou Diawara. Going to be playing where Pogba plays, but I'm not sure whether he'll be playing in midfield or DM. We'll see. We're going to leave the midfielders blank, so let them fight it amongst themselves. But again, physicals look really good. His stamina and balance, he's not going to be pushed over that easily. I don't think he'll be able to switch from left to right as well quite easily. £1.5 million from Roma. Roma paid £20 million for him. Boy, were they done. But even so, £1.5 million, that's a bargain, I think, in my eyes. But 26 years old, he's going to be here with us to 2028. So that's another 5 seasons. So as long as he can establish himself, I'll be really happy. We do let go of a few players on a free, and Torregrossa, he's gone to Al Arabi. I think that's another player that's gone out there. £1 million. So far pre-season, okay, we just had that first loss to Verona, 1-0, and then we picked up some pretty good scores as well. 3, and an 8. We start off the Italian Cup first round with a 1-0 win over Reggiana. Roma and Milan, we both draw. So I'm happy with that for that progress. Only 2 games played up to now. I'm just hoping we can go on and secure ourselves into the top 10 this time. That's where we're aiming for. That does leave us in 9th position. So we're in the top 10 for now. We have picked up Cagliari in the next round of the Cup. And we are 12th now, 250 to 1. I think that's slightly the better or the same as last season's starting point. But we do need to get closer to 7th position. And then and only then we can start thinking about bigger players. We've got 3 seasons to do this in. I'm hoping it's going to happen very, very quickly. So let's simulate season 3. We'll come back and see how we fare. Season 3 is over. It doesn't get any better, really. We do gain 1 point more than last season. 43 points last season, 44 this time. It's an improvement. I know it's only a 1 point, but a point or the same. Still the same amount of goal difference, but we have conceded less. Unfortunately, we have scored less as well. But 11 wins, 11 draws, 16 losses. There's still room for improvement. We are only now 11 points off a European spot. So that's a massive improvement. Whether it's or not, that's because of the teams above us not really playing as well. But we're further away from relegation than we are away from European spots. So that's a plus. As we look down through the scores, it's not that bad. We have got some wins breaking up the losses. Not so much big losses this time. There's a 5-1 loss to Inter there. We do beat Bologna 4-3 as well. Couple of close calls in some of the games as well. 4-0 against Fiorentina towards the end. And yeah, we seem to be losing our way a little bit towards the end of the season, which is really, really unfortunate. But, however, it is slightly better. We're getting sort of on track. We need to have that little bit more consistency. The Italian Cup, again, we falter at the second round. Cagliari, it's not pretty. 24th minute, and we're nowhere near. We're playing the same sort of formation, though, as Cagliari, but it's not great. 7 shots apiece. We've just had 1 shot on target less than they did. More possession, but as a whole, not very good. 21 goals for Colidio. That's not bad for his first season in 39 games, 2 assists. And Bustos, our other striker, 12 goals and 4 assists. So the pair of them getting 33 goals between them, which isn't too bad. Pogbiga getting amongst them as well. 2 goals though. But and Sosa again, this time 6 goals, 7 assists. But again, not enough people scoring goals, which could be the formation. But is it too late to change it now, I wonder? I think maybe this diamond formation is not the way to go, but we need to have more of the right players in there, I feel. Assist-wise, it's Sosa and Beresivsky. I can't pronounce the name, I do apologise. But again, we do need a replacement there at some point. Daiwara in his first season, not too bad. But again, not enough assists and definitely not enough goals being scored throughout the whole team. There needs to be masses of improvement. They're going to be giving us £30 million for this season, season 4. Hopefully we can improve and gain a few more players as well. So let's move on to the transfers and see what we've done. Just a couple of signings then to talk about. Henry Lawrence from England. He comes over to Italy and he's going to bolster our back four. I'm quite happy with the 2 centre-backs that we have got. We needed more bolstering out on the wing-backs positions. We've got a couple of aging players, so we thought we'd bring in a couple of youngsters. So Lawrence comes in. He can play either left or right. So we're going to have him on the right-hand side. He can actually play anywhere in the on the pitch, which is apart from forward line, which... See, I'm goalkeeper. I'm surprised at that, to be fair. But pace, acceleration. He can cross the ball as well, sort of. And has got a will and a determination as well. Very resolute as well. And as an attacking fullback is exactly what we wanted to run up and down them lines. We pick him up for about £3.7 million. He's played a couple of games already. He did have a couple of games out on loan with MK Dons, but we pick him up from Chelsea, which is... always a good place to start if you see a player that looks pretty good. So I'm very happy to bring him on board. And on the other side, we're bringing another one, Ian Matson. I think he's from Chelsea as well. Let me just double check. Yeah, we pick up another player from Chelsea, would you believe? £6 million this time. So we raided the Chelsea youngsters, so it seems. But again, very, very physical. And look at that pace, stamina, acceleration. Excellent. He's slightly better on crossing as well. His passing is not too bad either. And he's going to concentrate as well. So he's going to be on the left-hand side. And we're bolstering up that back four even more. So I'm really, really happy with that. No youth caps as yet, but it won't be long, I don't think. Again, 22 years old. So far, so good. Pre-season. And we've started off in the Cup and the Serie A perfectly. So we didn't concede a goal in the friendlies, which was really nice. Getting used to the formation, new players again. So the wing backs are doing their job. Although saying that, the first game in the league we conceded 3 goals. But a 4-3 win over Cosenza. And then Monza we beat 2-0 at home with Bustos and Facundo as well. I mean, did they score in there? That 2-4 scored again in the... first game as well. In fact, Busto didn't score in the cup game, which is surprising, but goals all the same. That does put us second in the table, which is probably stopped the show. We've done what we needed to. We've got into the top 10. In fact, we're in the Champions League spot at the minute as well. So take a photo now because this will probably change. And if we have a look at the season preview, we have jumped into the top 10 now, 100-1. So it does mean that we are getting better and we are moving up that table. So I'm the aim is to jump into the top 10. We need to top 10 positions, hopefully top 7 or top 6. That will be great, but it's going to take some doing yet. And we've only got season 4 and season 5 to go. So it's going to be quite tough. £500 million in transfers spent, with the most coming from Juventus, who pick up Neto from Wolves, and Milan picking up Kulusevski from Juventus for £50 million. And Lazio and Inter also joining in the fun. So without any further ado, let's get season 4 underway. Can we jump into the top 10 with this side? Our best position to date then, so it seems 12th position after season 4. We are still trying to get into this top 10, and it's proving very, very difficult. We are 9 points off Verona in that position. We do get 13 wins, which I do believe is the best number of wins for this save up to date, but 15 losses. We do have a -4 goal difference, so that's looking relatively good, but we're still in the minus, and we're not scoring enough goals, I don't think. In the league then, after a very good start, we continue it into September with 2 more wins, and then we have a few losses, nothing too heavy. A couple of wins, draws where we don't concede any goals, which is quite nice. And we only lose to Milan 2-1, Juventus 2-0, Lazio 3-2. We do have a win against Cremonese 7-0 away from home, which is really good. Sosa with a hat-trick, Facundo with a brace as well, Bustos with the one, and Yips as well, which is very, very good indeed. And that's nice. 7-0 away win, and 18 shots to their 12. We were deadly. Continuing on, we have a relatively good February, just the 1 loss against Bologna. We do draw with Inter 1-1 there. Roma 0-0. We lose to Torino though. Fantastic unbeaten run in April. All wins. And then we don't win anything in the final month. Lazio, Juventus where we draw. We lose to Milan 5-1, which is probably our heaviest defeat apart from the Torino 4-0. Results are getting a little bit better though, I feel. We do lose to Empoli 5-2 in the second round of the Cup, which is very disappointing, I'm not going to lie. We just don't seem to get any further than the second round, so it seems. Looking at the squad then, goals. 16 and 11, 27 goals between our 2 forwards. It's not enough. We are really struggling there for goals and assists as well. Nothing on the assists. I mean, 8 goals for Sosa with 9 assists. Shabo with 6 goals. That's not bad coming from a defender. Assist-wise, it's Bustos and Sosa. It's not a lot, is it? We seem to be really, really struggling. So I'm wondering whether a change of formation is required for this final season to really go for it. For the final season, we've been given £6 million. I'm not sure what we're going to do with it. We'll have a look at, play around with some formations and see if we can get see if we can get all our people playing, all the better ones, and give it a final go in the final season. So let's go and spend this money and let's play around with the formation. Right, then the first of our 2 transfers for this window and final window is Facundo Pellistri. We pick him up from Manchester United. He's still got some potential left and he's only 23 years old. Very, very quick. He can cross the ball as well. He's got very good dribbling. We're going to use him. We pick him up on a free, would you believe? United did pay £9 million for him. Didn't really use him. We are. So he's going to be playing on our right-hand side, hopefully, and show United how good he really is. I mean, he's still got a lot of attributes to pick up, but I think it'd be quite decent on that right-hand side. Following him is Casper Dolberg, 27 years old. I tell you what, his stats speak for themselves. He's got very good finishing. He's still very quick, and we pick him up from Inter Milan for £4.5 million. We can't grumble at that at all, and I'm really, really pleased to bring him along. He scored a goal in his first 2 games already, so I'm happy with that. We have got forwards, but I think they're going to start fighting for their places. But he can play as a winger, inside forward. He can play up front. He can play on the right, play cap. It don't really matter. He can play anywhere in that attacking. And I think it's a player I've not used at all, I don't think, in any of my rebuilds. And I've heard nothing but good things about him on FM. So he came available and we swooped in. Tactically, we're going to slightly go for it a little bit more this time. We're going to play 3 in midfield. Hopefully, we will have the likes of Pobega in there. We're going to have Daiwara in there and also Villar in there as well. Although Sosa can play there also. So he could be playing on the left wing. We don't know who's going to be playing on the right. It's going to be a free-for-all. We've got the decent players in now, so they should be ready to claim their places, hopefully. But I was going to go with a cam roll in there, but I do feel we're shifting too many goals at the back. So we want to try and pile this midfield up and stop them coming through. Pre-season, saying that, has gone pretty well. We haven't conceded more than 1 goal. We do need extra time in the Italian first round against Palermo. We win that 3-1. Benevento, we draw 1-1 away from home, disappointingly. Dolberg scoring, which we thought was the winner. And no, a 92nd minute equaliser. So there, shared points, annoyingly. At Fiorentina, we do win at home. Pobega scoring a penalty in the 44th minute. But apart from that, it's been pretty reasonable. It does leave us, at the moment, 6th in the table. We're in a European spot, so that will be quite nice. And we play Fiorentina in the next round of the Italian Cup. So it'd be nice if we can get through that as well. And the preview, we have slipped down a little bit, but the odds are looking a little bit better. 50-1 now, which is amazing considering where we were right at the very beginning. So we have progressed slightly, but we still need to break into that top 10. So with that being said, let's simulate for the final time. Season 5 is on its way, and we'll be right back with the results. Right then, for the final time in this save, and we finish an incredible 5th position. And we're in the Europa League as well. That is absolutely phenomenal. And Sosa has got the most assists in the league and the most chances created in the league. Lawrence picks up the most interceptions made for our team as well. So that's pretty good. That's an impressive final season. Pick up an incredible 18 wins, 11 draws and only 9 defeats. And for the first time as well, we get into a plus goal difference by scoring 59 goals. I think that's the first time we've ever gone over 50, and we do concede only 41, which is an added bonus. Looking at some of the results and any big ones in there, there's a 4-1 win over Cagliari as well. A couple of 1-0s. We do lose to Genoa and Inter, but we do beat Roma 4-3 in there. An unbeaten January. Almost an unbeaten February with a couple of big scores in there as well. A couple of 3s. Milan we lose. Lazio we lose, and then we go on an unbeaten run with a couple of draws, some wins, and then just 1 loss towards the end with a 3-2 loss over Inter. But apart from that, we've had a relatively better season. So maybe if we started off with the formation that we started this season with, we would have, we might have done a lot better, I feel. The Italian Cup, we only get as far as the second round once again. This is just not our competition, losing to Fiorentina, one of our rivals. I mean, it's just not great that we're not progressing in this competition at all. Maybe we need to be more aggressive. Looking at our squad then for the final time, everybody looks to be in superb morale there, so that's quite good. Look at goals then, 21 for Dolberg, 13 for Facundo as well. Sosa with some. How did the other striker go? What's his name? I can't remember his name now. Is he there? It doesn't look like he's there. Did he vanish? Did he leave? What happened? Bustos went £14.25 million. He's gone to Vigo. Wow, they must have reached his transfer clause. Wow, I'm disappointed with that. How well did he do in the end? I mean, he's still a good striker though, isn't he? I'm disappointed, but 7 goals for ourselves this season, but he hasn't managed any for Vigo in Spain. He should have stayed where he was. Sosa, Pobega as well. Our defenders as well getting a couple of goals. Assist-wise, 14 come from Sosa as well as his 8 goals. Lawrence gets 6. Pobega gets 5. Ogello gets 5 as well, which is really decent also. And it seems to be a little bit better as well. A lot of players getting more involved this season. So we're going to finish it here. We've had a relatively cracking final season to get into Europe as well, which if we played this formation, would we have got there sooner? Let me know down in the comments what you would have done differently. What formation would you have used? And any players that you would have tried to bring in on a budget as well. We didn't win any trophies in this save, but our aim was to get into the top 10, and we've done that. We've reached 5th eventually, and I think that's, considering we were sitting outside the 10th place before this final season and then jumped straight into 5th and European spot, that is phenomenal. 4 points off a Champions League spot actually, so that's even better as well. So we're going in the right direction. But if you enjoyed this rebuild, smash the like button. It does help with the video getting out there on YouTube a lot more. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And we'll see you on the next rebuild. Thank you very much for watching.